In 2022, there were 2,492 licensed architects in the United States who identified as Black, which is about 2% of the total of licensed architects. Of those, only 566 were Black women. That is less than 1%. I help students of all academic levels get into college on scholarships. Last year, I did $2.4 million. By 2026, I want to do $20 million. Today, I will be explaining the major of architecture. Now, I can't remember all my notes, so I will be looking down and referencing my notes. But the core focus of architecture is the art and science of designing buildings and spaces that are functional, sustainable, and aesthetically pleasing. So let's talk about some of the career paths that you can go down with a degree in architecture. These are not all the careers, but just to give you a general idea. So the first one is becoming a licensed architect. Of course, you can go down the route to become an urban planner, interior designer, landscape architect, sustainable design consultant, construction manager, industrial designer, building inspector, real estate developer, and architectural historian. Some grad programs you should consider: you could get a master's in architecture, urban planning master's, you can get a master's in sustainable design, you could get your MBA with a focus in sustainable design. You also can get your PhD in the history of architecture. Now let's talk about how you can apply this knowledge across different industries and different sectors. So if you're going down the corporate route, you can focus on designing modern and sustainable office spaces and buildings, especially as we are going into this space of climate tech and urban planning. If you want to work on the private equity side, you can work on advising on real estate development and investments, not only nationally, but internationally. If you want to go on the federal side, you can work with the HUD and also work on urban development projects. If you want to go to the startup side, you can create sustainable living solutions. And if you want to work on the nonprofit side, you can work in the housing department for underserved communities. We need architects. Please, please, please consider getting a degree in architecture.